Well, folks, he's done it again. Against all odds, and perhaps against the hopes of a solid chunk of the nation, Donald J. Trump has returned to the White House. This time, he's got J.D. Vance by his side, a man whose eyebrows could probably single-handedly restart the coal industry. It's enough to make you wonder if you've accidentally stumbled onto the set of a particularly unfunny political satire. But no, this is real life, and the implications of a second Trump term are about as subtle as a gold-plated bulldozer. Trump supporters are, of course, over the moon. They see this as a victory lap, a chance for their champion to finally drain the swamp without pesky things like congressional oversight, or the rule of law getting in the way. His opponents, on the other hand, are staring down the barrel of 4 more years of chaos, uncertainty, and the distinct possibility that the words President Kid Rock will be uttered in earnest. The stakes, as they say, are high, and while predicting the future is a fool's errand, especially when it comes to this particular president, it's worth taking a look at what Trump might have in store for his second act. Buckle up, America, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. The first few days of Trump's second term have already given us a taste of what's to come. Pardons for January 6th rioters? Check. Ignoring a national mourning period to fly the flag at full staff? Check. Capping it all off with a healthy dose of credit-taking for a ceasefire he had nothing to do with? You betcha. It's like someone hit the Trump button and cranked it up to 11. Now, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's not forget that Trump's second term won't be all sunshine and roses, or more accurately, tanning beds and rage tweets. He's facing a whole host of challenges, not least of which is a Democratic Party that's learned a thing or two about opposing him. Remember all those investigations and impeachment inquiries? Yeah, those aren't going away anytime soon. Then there's the media. Trump loves to hate on them, but they're also his oxygen. And let's just say the honeymoon period is definitely over. Expect the scrutiny to be relentless, the fact-checking to be brutal, and the headlines to be, well, let's just say they won't be kind. And let's not forget about the American people. Trump might have won the election, but he's still deeply unpopular with a large portion of the country. They're going to be watching his every move, waiting for him to slip up. And when he inevitably does, you can bet they'll be ready to hold him accountable. It's a lot of pressure, even for a man with an ego the size of Trump Tower. The question is, how will he handle it? So how does Trump navigate this minefield of a second term? Well, if his first term is anything to go by, it's going to involve a lot of bluster, a fair bit of bullying, and maybe, just maybe, a few actual deals. His team is going to have to be strategic, working behind the scenes to build coalitions, negotiate compromises, and generally try to keep the train on the tracks, or at least prevent it from derailing completely. One potential strategy is to focus on areas where there's at least some bipartisan support. Infrastructure, for example, has been a perennial talking point for both parties. And while actually getting anything done in Washington is about as likely as finding a sober Irishman at a St. Patrick's Day parade, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. Another possibility is to double down on the populist rhetoric and try to paint the Democrats as out-of-touch elites who are more interested in protecting illegal immigrants than hardworking Americans. It's a cynical strategy, but it's one that's worked for Trump in the past. Of course, no discussion of Trump's second term would be complete without mentioning his favorite subject himself, or, more specifically, his legacy. Trump is obsessed with being remembered as a great president, and he's likely to spend the next 4 years trying to cement that image, regardless of the actual consequences. This means we can expect a lot of focus on issues that play well with his base, like immigration and trade. Get ready for more tariffs, more border wall talk, and more attempts to dismantle the global trading system. Whether any of this will actually make America great again is debatable, but it will certainly make for good headlines. And then there's the big one, the Federal Reserve. Trump has been railing against the Fed for years, accusing them of sabotaging his presidency by raising interest rates. Now that he's back in office, he might be tempted to take his fight to the next level. This could involve anything from firing Jerome Powell, again, to trying to pack the Fed with loyalists. It's a high-risk move, even for Trump. The Fed is supposed to be independent for a reason, and messing with them could have disastrous consequences for the economy. But if there's one thing we've learned about Donald Trump, it's that he's not afraid to gamble, especially when it comes to his own ego. The next few months will be crucial for Trump. He's got a chance to make his mark on history, for better or for worse. The only question is, what will he do with it?